I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to raise an issue of huge importance for my Hazel Grove constituents, and that's the impact water scarcity has on the UK's canal network. The UK is unique in having a network of over 2,700 miles of waterways, much of it 250 years old, and still supporting many businesses. And my constituency, the finest in the land, is lucky enough to contain stretches of both the Macclesfield and Peak Forest canals, including the famous and beautiful Marple Lockflight. The Lockflight is an especially beautiful part of my patch, a green vein running through High Lane, Marple, over the Marple Aqueduct and through Romiley and Woodley onto Tameside. Earlier this year, I launched a campaign to make Marple Locks, one of the steepest and longest flights in the country, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now, Marple is one of the best examples of industrial waterways in the UK. Our canal heritage makes it one of a kind and is our own local slice of great British history. I'm a proud and long-standing trustee of the Stockport Canal Boat Trust for disabled people and their carers, and so I refer all colleagues to my register of interests. Now, not only are our waterways of cultural and historical significance to our communities, they also provide crucial habitats for wildlife and serve as a natural green corridor. Our canals are vital to our nature, our well-being, and they contribute hugely to combating climate change. They're vital for water management, and I believe we should be doing everything we can to protect and preserve them for future generations. I will happily give way.
Lady for giving way. The Leeds-Liverpool Canal runs through my constituency of Shipley, and on it is the very famous Bingley Five-Rise Locks. Due to water scarcity, that lock and passage through it has been shut for quite some time. Does she agree with me that it's essential that as part of managing our water system, we need to ensure that our canals keep moving?
I'm very grateful to the honourable member, and I agree very strongly with her that keeping our canals moving is hugely important when we're thinking about how we manage our waterways, how we manage traffic on those waterways, but how we keep them and preserve them for future generations. And similarly to the honourable lady's area, in my area, last year, due to a combination of drought and work that the Canal and River Trust had to conduct on some of their large raised reservoirs due to requirements of the Reservoir Acts, many reservoirs were drawn down over the winter to permit legally required works to take place, and as a result, they started the year with a lower volume of water. Now, this year, as the CRT told me, we experienced the driest spring in England for 132 years, the driest February to August in England since 1976, and the third driest March to August period on record overall for England, followed by the hottest summer since records began in 1884, according to the Met Office. Now, during dry seasons, low water levels can cause the canal banks to become unstable, leading to structural damage, erosion, and, if left unaddressed, the eventual collapse of the canal. Therefore, it's essential that water levels are managed and maintained to provide stability and functionality of canals. When these drought conditions are faced, restrictions are placed on boat movements to make the existing water in the canal system go as far as possible. And like in the Honourable Lady's area, the CRT deemed that this year restrictions didn't go far enough to conserve water, so decided to stop boat movements in my own area, so on the Macclesfield and Peak Forest canals, over the summer. So as well as the challenges a changing climate brings, there's also an increasingly demanding regulatory framework, ageing and deteriorating infrastructure, inflation, higher construction costs, and a reduction in government funding. Without funding changes, I fear that these closures are sadly likely to occur more often. This will not only have a dire effect on the people who live and work on the waterways, but also those who visit the canals for the benefit they can have on both people's physical and mental health. For many within my constituency, these canals are an escape from traffic pollution and noise. They provide a sanctuary of peace amid a busy world. The principal reservoir that feeds the Peak Forest Canal is Todbrook, and as a result of damage to the reservoir back in 2019, a key source of water for the canals has not been available of late. The CRT are currently working on a project to restore the reservoir, but without support from the government and increased funding to ensure that reservoirs are kept in good working condition, the water scarcity we have experienced this year could result in more closures of canals and waterways in the future. I join others, including campaigners from Fund Britain's Waterways and the Association of Waterways Cruising Clubs, in urging the Government to put real consideration into our canals when allocating funding to ensure that water scarcity does not have negative ramifications on our waterways, so we can protect these vital national assets for future generations.